Dignitas versus Vox Eminor. Team Dignitas are going to start as the counter-terrorists. And Chewy, take us away.
Right, here we go into Dust 2. I'm looking forward to seeing this one and seeing what comes out here for the Danish team and the Australian team. And it looks like it's going to be an aggressive push over towards Catwalk. Xipnix, he was my player for G3 to watch out for. He really did show us exactly what he can do when he's playing his best at that tournament. So we'll see if he's going to be able to do that again here. But in comes the push, and Vox Eminor, they've already got the bomb down very, very quickly indeed. dupreeh's been cut out by HavocK onto Catwalk, and it looks like aizy will be 2. FeTish does take down SpunJ, so it is a 4 versus 3 situation. JKS is going to stop another one there, but this is looking really good here for the team from Australia. They have a great push through Catwalk, and they're going to finish off the pistol round with relative ease.
Relative ease indeed, and using your word there, indeed. Because you know, Vox Eminor, they didn't reinvent the wheel. They smoked mid and pushed short. You know, good old-fashioned counter-strike. But it's worth noting that Team Dignitas didn't exactly have a counter-terrorist on short. So you can definitely tell that Vox Eminor have done their homework. They've looked at who they've got in their group and decided what maps beforehand they're gonna veto. And basically, you know, take a look at, for example, they'll have said to themselves, right, Team Dignitas will veto Overpass, will veto Cobblestone, will veto Inferno, which leaves D-Dust 2, Nuke, da-di-da-di-da. So we need to do our homework against Team Dignitas. We need to get as many Team Dignitas demos as we can and do our homework on Team Dignitas and understand how they play. And it's also worth mentioning that Team Dignitas demos are a lot easier to access than, for example, the other way around. It's going to be much more difficult for Team Dignitas to get information about Vox Eminor, but we do have a 1-for-1 trade here. aizy is going to try and push off short with the Galil. Knows exactly where aizy is at Graffiti, and Vox Eminor, they're just going to take their time here on short. They know there's someone at Graffiti, topguN, well anticipated by him. He's realised that there could have been a CT at long who's going to try and flank him from behind. And they've thought to themselves now, right, we want to hit this A bomb site. We don't want to go to the B bomb site where the CZs can do damage. We want to keep things at long distance and use our AKs for what they're good at. And they're going to face aizy, and it should be an easy round for them from this point on, Chewy.
Should be indeed, but it's a 2-1 mate. 1 versus 3 as things standard. aizy does get finished up there by HavocK, who got another kill as well just beforehand. So the bomb's going to get planted. 2 successful bomb plants out of 2 attempts here for the team from Australia. And Device is going to be the last man left alive. And by the looks of things, he's happy just to sit back over towards long doors there and just wait and see if any exit frags are going to come his way. He has got that CZ-75s, and he is going to meet up with at least 2 players any second here. I'm not quite sure if they know that he's there. They do indeed. His head's going to get taken off. That's going to be 2-0 in favour of the T side here. Only 2 casualties for them, which was SpunJ and topguN. And Team Dignitas, they haven't really put too many frags on the board so far. Only 4. So that means that they're not going to be able to have any early buys here. It looks like it's going to be another case of CZ-75s for them. FeTish deciding to go for a high explosive grenade as well. But that's going to be it. So into round 3 we go.
Yeah, let's go and see where he's actually going to throw that nade. Looks like, yeah, he threw it into long hut. Unfortunately, it's not going to deal too much damage as the Australians have wasted no time infiltrating this B bomb site. JKS dropped 1. dupreeh got a frag, but it's not going to be enough as aizy gets the return kill. And now Dignitas find themselves trying to rotate to the B bomb site. topguN from behind gets 1, can't get the second. And again, Vox Eminor, from this point on, they shouldn't lose this. They've got control of the B bomb site, the bomb's going down, they've got more firepower, they've got stronger firepower, they've got Galils. They're 3 versus 1, and there we go. aizy, brilliant round for him. He got a hat-trick, and probably deserves a pat on the back after that. But
he does.
Team Dignitas now, this is where they're going to show us what they're made of. They are a CT biased side. A lot of people say they need to improve their terrorist side of their game, and I agree. Now, Device has picked up the AWP, and they've got the rifles rolling. Look at the amount of nades they have. Now, Vox Eminor need to stand up and show us what they're truly made of.
Yep, indeed. And we've only got 1 AWP on the playing field by the looks of things, which will be in the hands of Devices. So, this is it. Into round number 4 we go. The first full rifle round of the game here on Dust 2, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. And we can't, you know, I always talk about it, and I'm going to talk about it again here. We really cannot emphasize enough how important this round here is for Dignitas. You know, repeating your point, the fact that they are a CT favoured team, if they go 4-0 down here and lose this rifle round, which is, by the looks of their economy, going to force them back onto an eco, which would have then made you think that it would be 5-0. to Vox Eminor, that's not going to be good, and they're already going to start to get jittery. I would have thought about that, but they're one of those teams who can really pull performances out of the bag when they need to, and I really wouldn't be surprised here if, after losing those first 3 rounds, that they come back and take this 4th round here. Catwalk push it's going to be though for the T's though. In they go. We saw them successfully do this in round number 1. In come the flash grenades. Zipnix is blinded. Going to peek. No, he gets completely smoked off there, but they've actually changed things up. So Catwalk is not going to be the option. It's going to be mid. It's not worked out for them so far though. That's going to be 3 frags in favour of Dignitas. JKS responding on to dupreeh. But they know where the bomb is. It's stuck in mid, and the last 2 players left alive for the Australian team are in a bit of a tricky spot.
Yeah, they are, but aizy gets 2. But he knows that he's still got a long way to go to try and pick up this bomb. And Chewy, when they tried the mid to B push, I think their main downfall was they put the smokes down, but they didn't actually utilise flashes as aizy's made it 3. And with 7 seconds to go, FeTish knows he needs to run down the clock. aizy's going for him. But aizy, despite the fact that Vox just lost that round, aizy take a bow, son. Terrific AK work.
It was a bit close for comfort there for Dignitas after those 3 frags came in, but still able to finish it off, and they were able to get that round on the board, so that's good. But again, another thing to think about here is that the economy is not really sitting pretty for both teams. Vox Eminor are deciding that although they've got about 3 to 4k in the bank for each player, they're just going to eco things up. We've only got 1 player with arm, which will be aizy. They've got a couple of grenades in hand, which is of course going to help here on the T side. Sorry, but Dignitas, because so many of them got picked off by aizy there in that last round, that's going to force them to only have FAMAS as rifle, and Device has got the big green gun, although it's the big white and orange gun, and he's going to start things off here. He's not going to get any frags though, and that gun's actually been dropped right on top of that A bomb site. In comes from the push from dupreeh, and this bomb going to get planted. That's really the main objective here for the eco round of Vox Eminor, and that's exactly what they've been able to do.
Yep, we've got Zipnix on A ramp, who's going to try and retake it with FeTish just behind him. Brilliant kill from FeTish. 180 spin, landing the FAMAS bullet in HavocK's head. And yeah, we're going to have 3-2 in favour of Vox Eminor. Team Dignitas slowly but surely crawling their way back into the game, just as we expected them to do after they bought up those big rifles. But like you said, the economical situation that last round was poor for both sides, and it was emphasised by Vox Eminor having to eco and Team Dignitas having to go for the cheaper FAMAS option.
Indeed, and just on a little side note, welcome Stezzy1G to the subscriber team. Thank you so much for subscribing, my friend. Shout out to you. If anybody else wants to join in on the chat and come say hello to us and come and give us your opinions, please feel free to subscribe, and we will give you a shout out as always, because all of our subscribers are greatly appreciated. But back into the game. 6th round we go. Dignitas with 2 rounds on the trot. They've still got those FAMASs in hand, and dupreeh's going to find the first place. So that's HavocK down, and that's a big kill to start that off and drop down that gun. But in comes the push towards the B bomb site here. Dignitas need to be careful, and they definitely need to be careful now, because aizy has opened up with that AK-47. It's 3 versus 3 situation. They need to get that bomb down. Sorry, Vox Eminor. That's exactly what they're going to do. Let's see if the team from Denmark can retake this B bomb site.
Going to be hard because Device has that AWP. It's so big, it's so heavy, especially when Vox Eminor keep putting smokes down. And judging by the player's current movement, it looks like the rifles might try to go for it. It's going to be the X1.6 man in Zipnix to get the first frag. aizy, hat-trick for him. He's hungry for the 4th, but Device, to no surprise, is just going to fall away. He's just going to fall back and save that AWP, and I don't blame him for looking to do so. But if we take a look at the scoreboard, aizy 10 kills and 3 deaths.
Wow.
He's been absolutely sensational so far.
Yeah, his AK shot has just absolutely been on point, which is great to see in these early stages of the game. Of course, for both of these teams, this is the first game of the tournament for them. So the fact that they can pick up some big rounds like that, and aizy can perform so well in these early rounds here, is always good to get those LAN jitters out of the way. Round number 7 we go though. Vox Eminor with a 2-round advantage, and HavocK is going to put that shot down there, and he dinked dupreeh down to 7 HP. Wasn't able to pick up the kill though, and we'll see if that's going to pay any dividends into this game. We did have one player, which I believe was Device, peek onto Catwalk there, but he's rightly so backed away from that one and not challenged anything silly as it stands. But round number 7 we are, and I'm already wondering how that sniper shot that went down onto dupreeh is going to affect the round.
Well, it's going to be Device, who's interestingly trying to hold short with the AWP. He got a frag, but one frag is probably not going to be enough. We've got HavocK holding mid, nails aizy, and Dignitas finally find themselves one man down. And let's see what our friends from down under can pull out the bag here. We've got AZR in lower tunnels. In fact, all of Vox Eminor. Team Dignitas, for my liking, have given them mid control far too easy. We see them playing around mid all the time. They come and go in and off short when they feel like it. And now we're probably going to see some sort of mid to B push, but they didn't really catch Zipnix out there. He knew exactly what was going on. And HavocK, 3 versus 1. He's running back towards tunnels with the bomb. I'd be really surprised if he tried to genuinely go for this with only the AWP. He'll have spotted dupreeh, and you know what? He's pushing in, but down he goes. And I don't know about you, Chewy, but I felt he would have probably been better off trying to save that weapon.
Yeah, I agree. I think he would have been, but it wasn't the case to be, and Vox Eminor's money's not sitting pretty whatsoever, so they should eco this one, and that's exactly what it looks like they're going to do here as we go into round number 8. And another shout out to Yota Ninja. Apparently it didn't come up in the stream chat that you'd subscribed, but a shout out to you anyway. Thank you for subscribing, and anybody else who we may have missed, shout out to all of you as we go into this next round here. It should be an easy anti-eco bash win here for Dignitas if they can take this one easily, but you never quite know. We were talking about it earlier on today. Me and Karen love to talk about it a lot, about how powerful these pistols are here on CSGO, and you never quite know with them. These eco wins just seem to come out of absolutely nowhere sometimes, and by the looks of things it's a 1-for-1 trade. AZR knocked down to 7 HP. That bomb still stacks up over towards long doors at the minute. No initial indications about where it could eventually be heading.
Yeah, with the bomb outside of long, and one person in tunnels, one person on short, one person on mid, I fully agree. This could be pretty much anywhere. Device has managed to shut down HavocK, which is always a good start for the Danes. They'll be eager to even things up at 4-4. And my main problem with Vox Eminor at the moment is that they've got these CZ75s. I don't think going to the A-bomb site is too good of an idea, but then again you think about it from the other perspective, they've not really got smoke out CT spawn, so they're pretty much, it looks like they're pretty much doomed wherever they go. Unless someone acts as a decoy on short, and then someone, for example, tries to flank through long. Oh, topguN, welcome to the server. Great one dig from him, and I said it needed something special, and maybe that one dig is going to be that something special. AZR doing what AZR does best by popping heads, but Zipnix is going to be the Dane to save the day, just about, with a hat trick. But blimey, DDoS2 today, an eco round.
Right, it's just been
nuts, man.
It has, and I love it. I really love it when things get shaken up like this, but not quite as much of a shake-up as it could have.
You see, it makes the eco rounds more exciting from a
spectator's
perspective.
It really does. You know, and I was talking to Scoots about this at Gfinity 3 just the other weekend, and you know, like when it used to be eco rounds in previous versions of CS, it was just like, right, we know the next score, you know, you can write it down, get ready for when they can buy up rifles, and just get on with it. Now you really have to pay attention here to teams on ecos, and time again and more often are we seeing teams getting a bit more nervous when those ecos are coming towards them, even when they've got the more powerful rifles. But Vox Eminor are looking good here. And they've got that bomb down on the A bomb site. It'll be interesting to see how Dignitas attempt to retake this one. They have got the man advantage. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be an easy job for them. In comes the push towards Catwalk. Didn't flash onto topguN as much as they would have hoped to. It's a 2-for-2 trade as things stand. 3 versus 2 situation. AZR responds with his great AK-47 shot. That's his second. SpunJ finishes up 3 headshots in a row. Sorry, AZR with three huge frags. I can't even talk right now. He's impressing me so much. And also on another note, shout out to Niz or Kniz or however you pronounce your name for subscribing. Welcome, good sir. 5-4 is the score in favour of Vox Eminor here, and AZR has just been the man so far, Knight.
Does anyone else think that SpunJ looks a lot like Nicholas Bentner? And I don't know if you've ever seen SpunJ, but he popped up on the analysis test during Katowice, and I couldn't believe my eyes.
He looks like Nicholas Bentner.
What's Nicholas Bentner doing on the Katowice analysis test? But anyways, thanks to that win from Vox Eminor, FeTish blown to smithereens already. Like I was saying, thanks to that win from Vox Eminor, they have forced their Danish opponents down onto an eco. Device is just about gonna avoid that nade. It only did one point of damage to him. but it's still, of course, anyone's round. You just, in CSGO, you just can never rule out teams when they've got the CZs and the USPs and the P250s. They're so damn good.
Yeah, they are. It's as simple as that. It really is. Is it a man advantage in favour here of the T side, with FeTish being that casualty earlier on to that frag grenade going down. But still, you know, the T's are playing this incredibly slowly. It looks like they're eventually going to make their push over through long now. But with 39 seconds left on the clock, they need to do something, and they need to do something quickly. Device is going to go down, which is going to open up long a bit more for them. There are 2 other players left to go. Zipnix is going to get shut down. And we see dupreeh in a very tricky spot with that CZ75. He's managed to knock 1 player out for the count. And that's topguN down, but I have a feeling it's still going to be too much of a difficult task for them. In comes the plant for long here from HavocK. And they've got a great setup here. Guard this A-bomb site from the 2 players who, of course, we can't mention enough, only got pistols. HavocK shuts down 1. Is he going to get second? Yes, he does. 6-4 is the score.
Yes, it is. And as a matter of fact, I just noticed something. Lurpis wanted me to change the crosshair.
And you didn't. He was going to give you some love if you did that, and that was like 2 games ago. Hashtag blame Kyanite.
Dude, I don't need Lurpis's love. He doesn't give love to anyone. But I've changed my crosshair, and I don't know if the people on stream will prefer it like this, but this interesting addition symbol as a crosshair, why not? Let's give it a go. As long as we can keep Lurpis happy, I think all of us will remain happy. But dupreeh through the smoke, not a bad start for Team Dignitas. It's nice to see that they've changed the flag to a Danish flag, because everyone riots normally when it's the British flag.
Oh, that was crazy the other day when we casted them. It was the main topic.
All the Danish people, how dare they try to say they're British?
Yeah, exactly. It was just the main topic that everybody was talking about, not what was actually going on in the game. And that was actually a pretty good game that we casted. Yeah, but anyway, on another note, another shout out. I seem to be doing all of these today, which is fine by me because I love welcoming new people to the sub squad. So welcome to Panther Game. Thank you very much for subscribing, good sir. And apparently it's pronounced Azza, not AZR. Well, thank you for subscribing and letting us know that. We do duly appreciate it.
He pays us to share his knowledge. What a nice man. But anyways, honestly, we really appreciate it. But anyways, we don't want to sit and talk about subs. I want to focus on the game as Vox Eminor begin the mid-to-B push as they slowly rush. Well, they can't really slowly rush towards this B-bomb site, but look who it is. Aizy peasy, lemon squeezy. 3 kills from aizy. And he came under a lot of fire after G3. A lot of people were saying that he wasn't really performing. But if we take a look at the scoreboard, he's not doing too badly so far in relation to the rest of his team.
No, he's really not. Yeah, having a look at that scoreboard, it's looking okay for both squads. SpunJ only 2 and 8 of the second, but I'm sure he's going to be able to pick up his game here. And AZR, of course, really the man that's impressing so far, and leading us to think that Vox Eminor could stand a good chance here on dustTo of taking this one. They have got that 1 round advantage, but it should all be evened up if things go according to plan. HavocK, with the shot into FeTish's head, is going to even up the situation here, though. In round number 12 we go. Blinded is dupreeh as he backs away from that gunfight, and I have a feeling the bomb could be making its way either towards lower tunnels or through mid to B. We'll have to have a look, though. And having a look at the CT setup here, we've got 1 towards long doors, which will be device. We've got Zipnix just up on that A-bomb site, and aizy and dupreeh stacked up on B. And here we go. The bomb is actually, as we said, going to be making its way up through lower tunnels to upper tunnels. And they're going to be pushing that B-bomb site in anytime soon, you would have thought.
Yeah, that was timed to absolute perfection from Zipnix, that nade towards SpunJ towards mid. But oh well, we said aizy peasy last time round, and aizy is at it again. He's been an absolute tank in that B-bomb site. But then again, he is only up against the terrorist Ecoing. dupreeh will take out the last Aussie, and it is going to be even Steven at 6-6.
Yeah, now we talked again earlier on about how you know, dustTo being T-sided and some people going it's becoming more and more equal. You know, it's not really the end of the world if you land yourself up on the less favoured side here, like it would be on example for a map like Nuke. If you land on the T side there, you've really got to play your best right from the start. But dustTo, you know, I would have thought that Vox Eminor would want to get these last 3 rounds here. You know, 9-6 would be a really great score for the T side here, and they would be happy with that one. The more rounds that Dignitas get on the board here on the CT side, the better. And Vox Eminor, again, you know, they should know that Dignitas are a CT favoured team. So again, the more rounds that they can take away from them in that sense, the better.
But I mean, we need to taking away the fact that Team Dignitas are always better on their CT side than their T side, 6-6 so far, as far as Team Dignitas stand, is still good as far as they're concerned. Most CT sides, even those who aren't that CT biased themselves in the way they play, are more than happy with losing 9-6 on their CT half on D2. So we need to bear that in mind, and it's not going to help if topguN keeps flashing himself, but it goes to show we're all human. You know, we all make mistakes when we're playing matchmaking, and these guys make mistakes when they're playing with absolutely no pressure whatsoever, when there's $250,000 at stake.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't really put it any better myself. So,
Anyways.
round 13 it is. 6-6 all even here on Dust 2. The closest game that we've seen so far that we've casted. We've seen quite a few results that really have been relatively one-favoured so far. Is this going to be a 1-for-1 trade here? Over on long, topguN gets a kill on FeTish. AZR with that AK-47 finishes 2, and he's just been so strong with that. It is all evened up on a 2 versus 2. Now AZR secures the man advantage here, but with 8 seconds left on the clock, Device, all he has to do is waste time here, and they're going to be able to take it. AZR with that AK is just going to come around the corner. Device with a 1 versus 2 clutch. Lovely shots with the M4 on the A-bomb site.
Wow, what a row.
Yeah, that was a great one.
You see, the irony was that AZR, he got into the B-bomb site. He got in the position to do the damage. He got 2 kills on 2 of the CTs near double doors. And there was still another CT on the A-bomb site who was looking towards long, who left himself completely exposed to aizy's position. I think, what did someone say he's
it's
called?
Azza. Sorry, it's just because I've not casted him before and I've just got AZR stuck in my head.
It's an Aussie thing, like,
Azza. It probably is.
Azza.
Yeah, so it's Azza from now on. We'll go with that. I do apologise.
aizy with 1, aizy with 2. Come on, surely he's going to get the 3rd with the USB. Yes, he will. And Device is going to mop up the rest. 8-6, and maybe if they can make it 9, you might fancy Team Dignitas to take the game. I mean, to be fully honest, most of us fancy Team Dignitas anyways. I don't think any of us expected Vox Eminor to get the amount of rounds they have done, no offense to Vox Eminor. But like I said earlier on, I honestly think teams like Vox Eminor and teams like Wolf have the element of surprise. They can use it to their advantage, and the element of unpreparation. Vox Eminor have come into this game knowing exactly how Dignitas will most likely set up, and where their weaknesses are and how they can counter them. Whilst Team Dignitas, to be fully honest with you, they probably only have Vox Eminor's demos from Katowice to work with.
Well, we're into the last round of the first half here, and Vox Eminor have got the opening frag onto Device there. It looks like the bomb could potentially eventually be making its way towards long, as the T side from Australia do have control of it. And you know, I couldn't agree with your point more. You know, there's so many VODs and footage out there of Dignitas for the Australian side to look at that. You know, they have got a big advantage in that sense, but we know how much of a strong, resilient squad Dignitas are. So we can't take anything away from them either, and that's why I thought that this potentially could be a relatively close game if it comes down to things. But CSGO Lounge disagreed with me at first. It was a 92-8 percentage in favour of Dignitas for this one. But as things stand, this is looking good here for Vox Eminor. Once again, they've got control of the A-bomb site. They are going to get that bomb down, but aizy's even things up, so it's a 3-on-3 situation. SpunJ is going to take down dupreeh. dupreeh with the incendiary grenade onto SpunJ, and this is back and forward, round number 15 here, Knight.
Yeah, I think HavocK spotted aizy, but aizy's going to get the kill, and JKS finds himself completely surrounded, and down he goes, sent all the way back to T-spawn, and unfortunately he's going to be sent to CT spawn, because that was the final round of the first half. So 9-6, Chewy, what did you make of that?
Well, you know, having a look at the scoreboard there, we can see what's gone on really, and you know, I don't want to put any players on blast because that wouldn't be fair of me whatsoever. You know, all of these teams have earned their
basically
spot
SpunJ
here.
Is playing the same way Nicholas Bentner plays football.
Exactly. He's playing like that. So SpunJ and topguN, 6 and 13 for
You
topguN.
being an Arsenal fan would know a lot about Nicholas.
I know. I don't even want to talk about it. Hence why I'm trying to move the subject away.
I noticed that.
But you know, that's the thing. You know, having a look at Dignitas on the scoreboard there, they're all relatively even. You know, only 6 frags difference between aizy at the top with 15 frags and FeTish at the bottom with 9. Whilst on the other hand, you know, the biggest difference with Vox Eminor is AZR's picked up a huge 17 frags in 15 rounds, and SpunJ has only picked up 3 there. So I'm not putting any players on blast, but I have a feeling this game could, you know, it could have been an 8-7 finish after the first half there if those two players had picked up some big entry frags maybe, or, you know, being able to get that bomb down and convert off that. But we'll see. Obviously, we're going into the second half in just about 49 seconds time here. And Kyanite, my question is, do you think Dignitas can capitalise on this and win this second half here and find themselves in the winner's match tomorrow?
Yeah, of course. Why not? Obviously, I think the first few rounds might shape how the remainder of the half might go. But Team Dignitas, sometimes I feel like the fact that everyone emphasizes, including ourselves, that they are so CT biased, that people expect them to be really poor on the terrorist side. What people don't realize is the reason people say they're poor on the terrorist side is because their CT side is so good in comparison to their terrorist side. One thing I really like that Team Dignitas execute a lot on DDoS 2, and we saw them do it at G3, if I can quickly fit it in, they send someone onto short and they smoke CT spawn from here. You obviously can't see where I'm drawing, but I'm drawing right underneath short towards the A bomb site, and they smoke CT spawn. And then what they do is they prepare for a B push. But I think they leave someone outside along, they fake the A bomb site, and then they have someone jump down into CT spawn. So when the rest of the players push mid to B, the CTs who are concentrating on double doors, on the terrorists coming through double doors, end up getting dumped from behind by the person who rotates through CT. And because they end up smoking it, the CTs on the A bomb site don't end up calling it and noticing it. But anyways, pistol round, take us away.
Pistol round it is, and we've got 3 players for Dignitas with armor, and the 2 players which will be Device and FeTish, who didn't buy armor, landed themselves with a lot of grenades, each getting a full set of grenades that they can possibly buy, of course, with that only $800 that they get in the bank here in pistol rounds. So we'll see what that's going to do, how that's going to pay off for them. AZ are the only man, Azza, the only man with armor for the Australian side of it. Come to push towards Catwalk, it's going to be for Dignitas. They're not playing it as aggressively as we saw Vox Eminor do earlier on when they got the bomb down virtually before the pistol round had started earlier on. aizy's going to get control of mid. No, he's not. SpunJ finishes him off with the headshot. SpunJ has obviously heard us call him out, and he's starting to wake up here. That's a great opening frag. But what are Dignitas going to do here to start to push themselves onto the A bomb site? That's a good start here. Device with 1, Device with 2, and they should be able to get the bomb down here, Kyanite.
Yeah, well, Device might make it 3, and yes, he will. Device showing the Aussies who's boss. And topguN, let's see if he can live up to his name. The answer is no. And Dignitas, someone said what I said in the chat. Someone said that they felt that the first 2 rounds of this half were going to shape the rest of the game, and that's what we said, chewing it, and I completely agree. Providing that Team Dignitas don't mess this second round up, providing they don't fall to the CZ75s of Vox Eminor, and they can keep their distance and use those Galils, and maybe not the UMP, but use the Galils and AKs to what the Galils and AKs are good for, then we should see the game go 11-6 and probably even 12-6, because with the CTs being on the more expensive side, they won't be able to force a buy in the third round of this second half, as opposed to the terrorists if they have lost a pistol round and managed to get the bomb down. Yeah,
exactly, and that's a huge, a thing about the economy of CS is when those kind of things happen, and when you are on more expensive side.
There's so much more to the game.
It does, and there was a great. I don't know if you read it actually. I read it the other day. It was Existence. You read it. Yeah, it was on the Titan website. I'll see if I can find a link, or if a mod can post a link to it. But there was an absolutely amazing article about the economy of CS, which was written by our good friends in Titan, and shout out to those guys. They're just about to play their game against Cloud9 any second now. That should be going live, but we are more interested with Dust 2 between the Danes and the Australian. It is going to be another eco, as you would expect from Vox Eminor here, but that's a good start taking out FeTish. And we see dupreeh with that UMP in hand is going to get knocked down as well. He was knocked down initially to 15 HP. 2 frags in return though for aizy and Device. Smoke grenade's going to cut off the doors there onto the B bomb site. The bomb will go down, but this is still a 3-on-3 here.
It is. Xyp9x is going to drop aizy in upper tunnels. I think aizy made a bit too much noise trying to march up them stairs. And Vox Eminor in HavocK and SpunJ, well, they're playing a patient game. They know that they're going to get wrecked if they try to jump through window and actually try to make their way through the doors up against the AK-47s, but well, Dignitas have completely left the bomb site here, and I don't know if someone's defusing. Is there someone on the bomb? Unfortunately not, and well, HavocK tried to steal an AK-47, couldn't do it in the end, but Team Dignitas there, Chewy, lost a lot of weapons, which they probably shouldn't have.
No, they shouldn't have. And considering that initially there wasn't actually a player over in upper dark, you know, at the start of the CTs there, when there was only 2 of them left alive with those pistols, they were just stacked up outside the double doors. And still, Dignitas, you know, they started to rotate. It didn't quite work out for them. They were able to pick up the round. There wasn't enough time to get the final frag and defuse the bomb as well. So it will be 11-6. But the fact that Vox Eminor got so many frags on the board will, of course, make them happy that they got to force Dignitas to buy up here, though. They still are on an eco as things stand. SpunJ is going to be the first casualty of the 18th round with an AWP shot coming in from FeTish. And this is just complete domination over on long there. If there's any kind of standard way to get yourself entry frags and push through long, that was it.
Yeah, but let's not get too excited. Vox Eminor are on an eco.
True.
Let's calm down. aizy doing the right thing. He's watching the flank from behind. I think at the moment JKs and topguN are probably trying to scurry around to see if there's any weapons they can steal, but obviously none of the Team Dignitas players have gone down, so it wouldn't surprise me if they just decided to sit in long hut and expect a few terrorists to try and run away from the bomb. They've been spotted, and well, aizy does what aizy does best. 12-6, and now Vox Eminor. I know I said this last time round, but this is where Vox Eminor really need to step it up. They lose this one, they'll find themselves ecoing again and find Team Dignitas on 14 rounds. Pick and predictions. It's something we mentioned in the first game actually, Chewy. It's 88% in favour of Team Dignitas. Would you agree?
I mean, I would, yeah. I mean, I think if everybody had been stepping up to the fashion that we've seen aizy doing in the first half there, and you can't take anything away from HavocK, actually, he's had a good first half, 15 and 14 for him. But, you know, I think if everybody from Vox Eminor had stood up to that kind of level, potentially this could be a more even pegging here. But by the looks of things, as soon as Vox Eminor get those rifles in hand, they're starting to pick their game up a bit. It's a 3 versus 3 situation. Dignitas do have control of the bomb site on B, and the bomb is going to go down here. And this is the time now for Vox Eminor. I have a feeling if they can't retake this one and they can't get the defuse here, they could be in trouble very quickly, considering the fact that they are already 6 rounds down here. So in comes the push. Grenades go down. aizy's going to pick up one. aizy does respond, and aizy's going to get his second. So all left in the hands of HavocK here. He's got to back away from that one. Dignitas just about able to hold on to that B bomb site. So, heading into round number 20, the score will be 13-6, and let's put this into perspective here, kind of like, you know, the scores were relatively even, I believe. At one point they were actually 6-6, all even.
Yeah.
There we go, that kind of shows what Dignitas can do once they've warmed up.
Well, Team Dignitas are Team Dignitas. And again, going back to people who said that aizy didn't perform at G3, 23 kills, 11 deaths. A lot of people were, of course, surprised when Cajun B left Team Dignitas, or was kicked from Team Dignitas, and replaced with this youngster, if you will, who showed he had potential in Reason. I believe he was in Reason before joining Dignitas. He showed he had potential, but people were really, really surprised by his inclusion. But it's interesting as well that HavocK just got the pick offshore onto aizy, probably jinxed him by talking about him, saying how well he's been playing. They'll know that he saved that AWP from the last round, and they'll probably be expecting the rest of Vox Eminor to be on an eco, so they'll probably be looking to perhaps try and edge closer towards a B bomb site, and it looks like that's what they're trying to do. They want to stay away from that AWP, and they want to face the CZs more than anything.
They do indeed, and just before this round really starts to kick off and go all crazy, Cloud9 managed to take the CT pistol round on Dust 2 against Titan, and Titan won the eco in round number 2. So that game at the second is actually all even 1-1. Just a quick update for you all there, although I'm sure most of you are keeping up to date with that one as well. But interesting for Titan there. As I said earlier, we're more interested with this game here. 13-6 is going to be the score, and 42 seconds left on the clock. aizy's in a lovely position just on top of that bomb site, and he's going to pick up one with the CZ75. It's not going to quite work out for them, though, unfortunately, by the looks of things. It is a 3-on-3 as things stand. HavocK finishing off FeTish there in the back, and he's going to get caught. He doesn't die from that shot, though. Device eventually punishes him, but let's put this into perspective here, because dupreeh has got the bomb down. He's got to get chased soon. He's got to get help from that player on long. Can dupreeh do this on his own? He's going to get caught around the flank, but the CTs have to be careful of that player on long. They've taken him out. There's one left on the bomb site. It's all left in the hands of dupreeh here, and he's going to finish it off with a Glock. 14-6. And I have a feeling that could be good night Vox Eminor here on Dust 2.
Good night, Vox Eminor, is the chewy prediction gonna become a reality? Only time will tell. So HavocK, again, he's gone for the AWP. AZR, safe to say that he hasn't had as much of an explosive CT side as he did on the terrorist side. Well, I mean, Vox Eminor are yet to get around on their CT side. So again, people go on and on about Dignitas being a CT bias side and their T side not being good enough. But the question at hand now is Vox Eminor's CT defense incredibly poor? Or have Team Dignitas really stepped it up as far as their T side is concerned? Again, so many questions that could potentially be asked if we had some sort of analyst alongside us. But I'm sure Richard in the studios tomorrow will answer all those questions. But here we go, dupreeh pushing straight in, catching HavocK, and that's up or down for the Aussies. SpunJ is, well, not SpunJ, SpunJ is going to be the CT to rotate through CT spot. Xyp9x, along with Device, is the left-hand man. Play cool, calm and collected and prepare for some sort of push towards the A bomb site. Here we go, SpunJ is going to get 2, AZR as well. Chewy, are you alive?
Sorry, I do apologise there, my phone rang again, so I had to mute my microphone. I do apologise.
It's cool, it's cool. You make me look like an idiot, but it's cool. But anyways, 2 versus 3, SpunJ gets his 3rd of the round, and we haven't really seen SpunJ do much so far this game, but fair play to him. If there's any better time to introduce yourself into the game, other than now, then SpunJ deserves a pat on the back. 3 kills from him with the AWP. We don't normally see him using the AWP, but we did of course see him go towards CT spawn to pick it up off HavocK's dead body. And Vox Eminor lived to fight another day. 14-7.
Well, again, I don't want to put the guy on blast because we know the potential that SpunJ has got, but just to put that last round into perspective, before then he'd only picked up 4 frags in 20 rounds. So after 21 rounds, in that last round, he actually picked up almost half the entire kills that he's picked up in the game just with those 3 frags there. But here we go, back and forth play. It's going to be 2 CZ75s for Xyp9x and Device will shut down aizy and SpunJ. So it's a 3 versus 3. dupreeh's got the UMP and Xyp9x has actually been able to reward himself with an M4 in hand. So you can't put this past the Dignitas squad here, considering the fact that we know what that CZ75 can do. That's dupreeh down though. Xyp9x is going to try and get that bomb down. He's hidden at the second. Shots tried to go over the top from JKS, and he will finish that player off on 4 HP. Device gets shut down by HavocK. The defuse will come in. 14-8 is going to be the score. Vox Eminor finally getting a couple of rounds on the board here on the CT side, but I just have a feeling, Kyanite, that it could potentially be too little too late here.
Never say never in Counter-Strike.
Are you trying to quote Justin Bieber on me?
Oh, what is it with you and Cadian and Justin Bieber? Every time I say never, you both start talking about Justin Bieber. And everyone knows how old the never say never quote is. And it was first a James Bond song before Justin Bieber turned it into a song. I mentioned it to you early on, and oh my god.
I know, considering
why are
the
you
fact
talking
that
about
I'm
Justin
like
Bieber
one of the
on
biggest Bond fans out there as well. That's even more embarrassing.
Same, exactly. Who's your favourite James Bond?
It's got to just be Sean Connery.
Same.
Yeah, it's just got to be.
Anyway, we were
Anyway,
made for each other, Chewy, in a non-homo way.
Exactly.
Not
That's
that there's
why
anything
we're
wrong with being
bros.
a homosexual.
That is why we are the casting duo, because of things like that. So, anyway, enough about James Bond, because we'll talk about that once we finish the stream. Round number 23 it is. We've got 2 AWPs on the field, FeTish with 1 and HavocK with the other here. And once again, it looks like it's going to be a split between Catwalk and Long potentially, although Xyp9x here on Long is going to back away from that one, so maybe not so yet. Xyp9x, as I said earlier on, the standout player for me just a few weekends ago at G3, really performed well there and was picking up some huge kills. Let's see how he's just doing at the second. He's 16, 9 and 12, so he's had a hell of a lot of assists in this game. But still no indication initially about where that bomb could eventually be heading, because they could obviously easily rotate off there. I think it's going to be towards A, but they've got to be careful because SpunJ has just taken the first frag onto FeTish there. HavocK gets the second, and that's going to lead Device in a very, very tricky spot. He's down on 4 HP. He picks up one. Is he going to get SpunJ? Yes, he is as well. 2 great headshots. And what's that going to do now? aizy's got to start rotating his way through. He is on Catwalk, so he's already made his way over there quickly. Dignitas not out of this round yet.
No, not at all. Even though Device is only on 4 points of health, aizy will even it up at 2 versus 2, and down goes Device. But when you consider how how Vox Eminor sided that round was at one point. I think Device did really well to get the extra money by getting not only 2 kills, but by securing the bomb plant as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's have a look at this. We can see the economy coming in here for Device. They had about between 5k and 3k between them also, so they are going to be able to buy up here, although FeTish is actually only going for a deagle, so I'm wondering what that's going to play into effect in this game, well, in this round. With that in mind, you know, this could potentially be a 14-10 for Vox Eminor, and that's the time that Dignitas, I think, in my opinion, would start to get a little bit, not jittery, because we know they're a resilient team, but just a bit, okay guys, let's make sure we're performing like we were doing earlier on. Let's step it up a gear once again and make sure that we finish out this game, because Vox Eminor, they've taken a couple of rounds on the trot here, and they are standing a good chance of really showing what they can do on the CT side and bringing this game a bit closer than it is at the current second. But with 1 minute 10 seconds remaining here in round number 24, no casualties as of yet.
Nope, like you were talking about, it's all about momentum. Momentum is the name of the game. And FeTish, he has to do with just the Desert Eagle, so he's going to be hoping that his teammates can get an opening frag somewhere, get first blood somewhere, and give him a tasty little M4 to use. But anyways, what are Team Dignitas going to do here to try and unlock the Aussie defence? Obviously, flashing your teammate isn't a good start, but SpunJ sees them going towards mid to B. He put Zipnix on 32 points of health, but now JKS is absolutely surrounded, but he does get one nonetheless, and it's 3 versus 3. The bomb will go down on this bomb site. It's being planted for tunnels. Good plant. And again, with the bomb being down in the B bomb site, you wouldn't really expect the terrorists to lose it from this point. There's no real excuse.
No, and SpunJ just decided to challenge B doors there, and I'm not entirely sure why. You know, I'm not a pro player. I've only been interested with CS really since about, like, I started watching in September last year casually, started really getting into it in December, Christmas time, and kind of around Katowice time, and then only started casting it around March or so. So, you know, I'm still relatively new, but even I can question there why SpunJ decided to challenge that on his own. He had 2 players rotating through CT spawn, I do believe, and they had grenades as far as I'm aware, so there was still a good chance there, but he decided to just be a bit cocky, maybe, if that's the right word to use, and try and get a kill with an M4. It didn't quite work for them, and they're going to get punished for it here because Dignitas, they're on match point.
Here we go, as the stream of terrorists flows into the B bomb site. Zipnix and Dignitas, the 2 Danes, to get their name on the score sheet as far as this round is concerned. And it is 4 versus 3. It's still more than doable for Vox Eminor, but they need to get a return frag. And ooh, FeTish missed that AWP shot. Very unlike him. Don't get me wrong, he's no Kenny S, but very unlike him. aizy is going to blow Device up to smithereens as the retake commences. Zipnix gets 2. The X1.6 man will make it 3. 4 as a matter of fact, as far as the entire game, as far as the entire round is concerned. And well, man of the match, Chewy.
Yeah, man of the match for me, I think.